thank you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Yeah, you're sounding great.
My first college degree was in commerce, trade and transportation, and I expected to work somewhere in an office for commerce, preferably the airline business, because it was really developing after World War II. I mean, someone said, "Why don't you be a stewardess?" And I said, "Well, that sounds like a good idea."
Yeah, so your
and
office
at that time it was glamorous.
Airlines, they turned me down. They thought I wasn't good enough, and I applied for TWA, and they welcomed me, and I ended up being with the best company possible.
Yeah, and so your office was moving. You got one of those moving offices. So what was it like now? Did you had to make all the announcements?
Yes.
You had to do. Were you alone? Did you have another stewardess with you?
You were alone if you worked the twin-engine aircraft, but
Right.
you were with another partner if you worked the four-engine aircraft.
How is it different? How was it different then than it is now?
Well, the safety was very important, and that continues today. But most of all, we had to sell the idea that people should fly. Because the airline industry, the four men that really developed the commercial aviation in the United States, did it by being financed by the government to transport the mail, and their idea was to develop the air routes. They did it with a DC-3 back in the mid-1930s.
And a lot of those are still flying.
And
great airplanes.
My uncle worked for Douglas Aircraft for 37 years. He was the purchasing agent. He was very particular about the kinds of material that he bought, and obviously it shows because the planes are still here.
Yeah.
But they did all the air routes, and those are the air routes we fly today. And it changed people's attitude. Everyone lived in an isolation from one part of the country to the other.
Yeah.
The Far West really didn't care what the South was doing, and the South really didn't care what the Northeast was doing, and so on. But when we had more transportation, it was easier for us to connect with each other, long before internets.
Sure. In fact, that's how we got baseball teams all across the country, and because you went as far west as St. Louis. You had the St. Louis Cardinals and the St. Louis Browns, and that was about it.
Yeah.
But flying was for the wealthy at that time, was it not?
Well, considering the pay scale, most people at that time didn't earn more than $10,000 or $12,000 a year.
Right.
Hard to seem possible. And the airfare was like $500 one way. So that was a big chunk out of your paycheck.
Right.
But a lot of businessmen were traveling. They didn't have the internet service that they have today. Well, they talk on the internet. They could be anywhere having a conference call.
Yeah.
They had to fly everywhere. So the businessmen are the ones that really pioneered traveling everywhere. to be face to face with someone when they're making an argument about a business decision.
It was first